All right, let's talk about something every single English learner feels. I mean, really feels. It's that voice in your head, that feeling of doubt. Today, in this explainer, we are going to grab that feeling of uncertainty and flip it on its head. We're going to learn how to turn it into your most powerful tool for building some seriously unstoppable confidence. Let's dive in. You know the moment, right? You're in a conversation, maybe it's even going pretty well, and then, poof, nothing. Your mind is just blank. Your throat gets tight. That feeling, that freeze frame moment, that's doubt. But here's the thing you have to know. That feeling isn't a stop sign. It's not proof that you're failing. It's actually a sign that you are right on the verge of learning something new. So we tend to think of doubt and confidence like they're enemies, in this constant battle inside our heads. But what if they're not? What if they're actually partners? See, doubt is all about uncertainty and hesitation. And confidence? That's built from trust and action. The secret is you can't really get to true confidence without going through the uncertainty. They work together. They're on the same team, your team. So if we're going to get a handle on this whole doubt thing, we've got to understand it first. Where does it even come from? So in this first section, we're going to pull back the curtain on that feeling and see what's actually going on in your brain when doubt pops up. The word doubt itself gives us a pretty big clue. It comes from this Latin word, dubitare, which literally means to hesitate. That's all it is. It's a feeling of being unsure. It's not a final judgment on you or your English skills. It's just a feeling, a state of mind. And let's really dig into that word hesitate. It just means to pause. Think about it. When you pause before you speak, what is your brain doing? It's not failing. It's working. It's searching for the right words. It's organizing your thoughts. It's getting ready to act. That pause, that hesitation, that's not failure. That's preparation. Okay, so what kicks off that hesitation? Well, the first cause is actually pretty cool. Doubt is basically your brain's built-in alarm system. Its job is to keep you safe. So when you run into something new and unfamiliar, like a tricky piece of grammar or a native speaker talking super fast, that alarm goes off. Your brain is just saying, whoa, hang on. Pay attention. This is new. It's not trying to stop you, it's just trying to make sure you're ready. The second big reason is vulnerability. Yeah. When we speak a new language, we are totally putting ourselves out there. We know there's a chance we'll make a mistake, or that someone won't understand us, or maybe even that we'll be judged. That feeling of being exposed and open, that's vulnerability. And wow, is it a huge source of doubt. But here's another game-changing way to think about it. Being vulnerable is not a weakness. Not at all. In fact, it's a sign of incredible honesty and courage. When you let yourself be vulnerable, when you try to speak even though it's scary, you give other people a chance to connect with the real you. Honestly, people don't connect with perfection. They connect with realness. And now for the third one. And this one might be the most dangerous of all. Comparison. It's that thing we do where we look at other learners or we listen to native speakers and we think, ugh, I'll never be that good. We're comparing our Chapter 2 to their Chapter 20. And let me tell you, that is the absolute fastest way to kill your motivation and just pour fuel on the fire of self-doubt. I mean, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Comparison is the thief of joy. Every single second you spend looking at someone else's path, you are robbing yourself of the happiness that comes from celebrating your own progress. So the lesson here, stay in your lane. Focus on your journey. All right, so now we know why we feel doubt. We get it. So let's talk about what to do about it.
In this next section, we're going to dig into the mindset shift, the mental flip you need to make to start turning that doubt into genuine, solid confidence.
The answer isn't what most people think. It's not about waiting around until you feel confident enough to speak. Nope. It is exactly the opposite. Confidence is the result of taking action. It's not a prerequisite. It's like a muscle. It only gets stronger when you actually use it, especially when you feel shaky and you don't feel ready at all. So, making this shift happen involves 3 steps. First, we're going to learn how to reframe those negative thoughts. Then, we're going to talk about practicing with courage, which means taking action even when you're scared. And finally, we're going to change our goal from impossible perfection to real, achievable progress. Okay, let's start with reframing. This is so simple, but it is so powerful. You take a thought that feels like a brick wall, like I can't speak English well. That feels final, doesn't it? A dead end. But watch this. Just add one tiny 3-letter word to the end. Yet. I can't speak English well yet. All of a sudden, it's not a wall anymore. It's a road. It's a journey. You're just not there yet. Next up, courage. So many of us think that being courageous means you're not afraid. That's just not true. Real courage is feeling that fear, feeling that doubt bubbling up, looking it right in the eye, and doing the thing anyway. Every single time you raise your hand, ask a question in English, or try a new phrase, you are laying another brick in the foundation of your confidence. It's built one small, brave action at a time. Okay, we've talked about the mindset. Now it's time to build the muscle. In this section, we are getting super practical. I'm going to give you 3 real, concrete exercises you can start using, like today, to build your confidence. Think of these 3 exercises as your daily trip to the confidence gym. First up is the mirror method. Just 2 minutes a day speaking to yourself in the mirror. It literally retrains your brain to see and hear yourself as a confident English speaker. Second, the power sentence. Before you start a study session, just repeat an affirmation like, I am improving every day. It primes your brain for success. And third, record and reflect. Now, this is key. You're not listening to find mistakes. You are listening to find proof, cold, hard evidence that you are actually getting better. And that last exercise leads us right into this huge idea. When you listen to those recordings over a few weeks or months, you will hear the progress. You'll have proof you can't deny. And that proof is what builds real trust in yourself. See, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about trusting the process, trusting your progress.
All right, for our final section, let's kind of zoom out a little bit and talk about how to make all of this a real part of your life. How to actually live this confident journey day in and day out.
Remember how doubt came from that Latin word for hesitate? Well, check this out. Confidence comes from the Latin word confidere, which means to trust. That's it. At its heart, that's all confidence really is. It's self-trust. It's the belief in your own ability to figure things out, to grow, and to handle whatever your English journey throws at you. And this might be the most important thing to remember from this whole explainer. You are never going to reach some magical destination where you have zero doubt. It doesn't exist. Even the most fluent, professional speakers feel doubt. The only difference is they've learned not to let it paralyze them. They see it, they nod at it, and they take the next step anyway. Confidence is just the daily practice of doing exactly that.
I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. You can't have a shadow unless there's a light source somewhere, right? Well, in the same way, the doubt you feel is really just a shadow being cast by the bright light of your own ambition, your desire to learn, and your potential. The fact that you have doubt proves that something bright and amazing is happening.
So I want to leave you with this question. Doubt is not a brick wall. It's more like clay. It's raw material, and you have the power to shape it. You can let it dry up and become a barrier that stops you, or you can mold it into the very foundation of your confidence. The next time that feeling shows up, just ask yourself, what am I going to build with this? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Now, I'd love to hear from you. When does doubt hit you the hardest? Is it when you're talking to native speakers or trying to write an email? Go ahead and share your experience in the comments. Your story matters. And remember, every time you try, every time you practice, you're choosing to trust yourself over hesitation.